Yeah, my name is Oluwadaisi Funsho Felix. All right, so my surname is Oluwadaisi. So my name is like
So I'm safe.
you said.
I'm safe.
Yeah,
I'm safe.
yeah. So I just prefer to use the shorter part of my name, which is Funsho Felix. I really don't like to put people through the stress of having to pronounce the longer part of my name.
You are just, you are just too good. You are too good, and I love your role like that. So
Thank you.
Funsho for coming. Funsho is also known as Brand Solute at Brand Solute on IG. Brand without D. Brand without D. BARNSOLUTE. Brand Solute. So you can find Funsho on Instagram at Brand Solute. The topic we are discussing with Funsho tonight is digital branding secrets for
Okay.
small, medium, and large businesses in a new normal. That's the topic. Digital branding secrets for small, medium, and large businesses in a new normal. I'll just take
I get
quickly
it.
read Funsho's profile. Please hold on. I know that you are ready. You are very ready for us. But let me just give our audience a hint of you, because some of them, they are just looking at a fine boy. They don't know that this fine guy like this is full of content. Do you understand? They don't know. They just feel that fine, just a cool guy. So Funsho Felix is a brand designer and strategist, and is the founder of Brand Solute, a branding agency committed to building heart-winning brands in Nigeria. He builds brand through the creation of customized and tailored brand strategies that employ strategic positioning informed by market data to help brands achieve radical differentiation in their industry, while also providing them with creative, customer-focused brand designs to aid in the execution of strategies. Now, guys, sitting in front of you is Mr. Strategy. So start dropping your questions. Mr. Strategy is here with us now, and start dropping your questions if you have any. So I'll just quickly go to the questions, Funsho, that people already sent in that we
Okay.
can knock off tonight. Hmm. What are some fundamentals of digital branding for entrepreneurs?
Okay.
What are some
To start with,
fundamentals
I want to like.
for entrepreneurs? Did you
Okay.
hear that?
Yeah. I hope I'm very clear enough. Like I think
You
there is a bit.
are very
Yeah.
clear.
Okay. All right. So to start with, let me just like quickly make a quick, let me say, clarification about the word digital branding. Digital branding is not actually a professional term. Like when it comes to branding field, we don't say okay, I want to do digital, or I want to, or I'm a digital brander, or I'm a digital brandist, whatever. It's not a professional term. Yeah. So digital brand is more like a word that came into limelight in recent years, in recent times. And why is because more and more people, more and more businesses are coming into the digital environment. And so there is need for every business, there is need for every entrepreneur to brand himself, all right, to make himself unique, to spread an idea, a very distinct idea. So that's why we have the word digital branding. So digital branding stems from the big branding umbrella. When you're talking about branding, you're talking about the big idea, you're talking about the essence of a particular entity. All right. So yeah, what the basic fundamentals, some of the basic fundamentals for digital branding, I would say the first thing is a strategy, a brand strategy. That's one of the most important things when it comes to branding digitally. Now, a whole lot of people, a whole lot of entrepreneurs that we've seen, some people will just like, oh, I have this idea that I want to do, or my friend is doing this, my friend is really eating it big on the ground, or I'm seeing a whole lot of influencers on Twitter, and I want to be like them. So you too, you jump on Twitter, you jump on Instagram, and you realize that the day you are really not doing anything. Like you don't have a purpose, you don't have something that you are working towards. People are not actually catching what you're trying to communicate. So a whole lot of people realize this at the later part of their journey on the ground. So if you want to start building your brand digitally, then number one thing is to take care of the foundation, which is your brand, which is your strategy. You can call it brand strategy, you can call it a plan, anything that you want to call it, but make sure that you have something like a foundation, something that you can revert to if if you feel like you're not catching the whole thing, you're not catching the whole vibe again. All right. So the strategy must or should contain the brand core, the brand internal purpose. The purpose is exactly like the why, the big why. Why are you starting? Why are you on the digital space? What do you want to accomplish on the digital space? Then you now start to dive deep into who are your audience, who are the set of people that you want to impact. All right. When you start doing that, then you now start to delve deep into so many aspects, like okay, how you're going to be positioning yourself, what you are going to be communicating, how your visual is going to look like, and all of these things will start to come into shape, and you yourself will start to gain clarity about, okay, this is what I want to do online. All right. So the strategy is a very big part of, and is a very big component when it comes to digital branding. Also, the most important thing, which we all are familiar with, is content. When it comes to the digital economy, content is like the king. Everybody say content is the king. Trust me, content is king. Coming to the digital world now, you need content. You need to be able to. You need people needs to be able to see something from your stable. So through your content, you are marketing yourself out there. All right. Now, let me divert a bit. When it comes to digital branding, ideally, the main essence of digital branding is for you to create that community that houses your most loyal fans. All right. The essence of digital branding is for you to be able to create a community that is different from other people, and community that people are loyal to. Okay, because when people are loyal to your community, when people vibe with what you do, trust me, they are going to buy your stuff, they are going to follow you wherever you go, they are going to do anything that you ask them. I mean, we've seen the likes of personal brands like Gary V, we've seen the likes of Chris Do. These people have a strong personal brands that on all their social media platforms, they literally have millions and millions of loyal people trooping around their social media platform. So this is a testament to what digital branding does. Okay, number one, it creates that community. Okay, that community of like-minded individuals, and also you get to have loyal people, loyal fans, loyal customer. I mean, loyal fans. Then those fans later will convert to customers, and whatever you want them to do for you to help your brand grow. So yeah, that's that aside. I'm talking about content now. Content is more like the marketing aspect of digital brand, because trust me, you need to market your brand also. Your online brand needs some form of visibility. You need some form of people need to see your brand. So if people are not seeing your brand, then you are building a brand, yeah, but then you are not actually putting your brand in people's faces enough. So you need marketing to actually spoil your brand to the moon, to take it to another level, to make sure you are being seen. And the more you are seen, the more you are growing, and the better for your brand. Okay. So yeah, content is like the four, is like what is like the four for is the currency when it comes to digital economy, and that's a very important component of digital branding. And also the last one, because I don't want to take much of our time here, the last one, which we are also very familiar with, is visuals. Visuals is a very, very important thing when it comes to the online environments. Like we are just scrolling, everybody is scrolling, we are scrolling through IG, scrolling to Twitter, scrolling to everywhere. When you hit that visual and you be like, wow, what is this? You go back, whether the visual is in motion, which is in video, whether the visual is in a single image. And also, whether the visual, the text that we are typing, people are seeing it, so it's a form of visual too. Whether the text is charming, whether is grab is mind popping, you need visuals for your brand to grow. Okay, so that is why I usually encourage entrepreneurs to invest in visuals and content, because at the end of the day, you want people to see your brand, and
Exactly.
you want your brand to attract people. So if you are not putting things, if you are not putting out things that will attract them, then trust me, they are not going to come, and your brand is just going to be stagnant. So you are not building a brand essentially. So all of these things are very important components of digital branding. Let me stop here.
Guys, did you see my expression when he said he doesn't want to take your time? Hmm. We only asked one question,
You see,
and
see,
he has dissected everything. He just did justice to the fundamentals of digital branding for entrepreneurs. What are some of the reasons why brands experience inconsistency?
okay, yes. Okay, I think when I looking at that, I mean, thinking about the question now. Number one, I'm forced to say that one of the things that causes entrepreneurs or brands to experience inconsistency, number one, is a strategy that is not clear.
Exactly.
That is one thing, because a lot of people say they have strategy. You have a strategy, your vision is clear, your mission is clear, you know what your core values are, you know how you are standing out, you know what your messaging is. Then what is wrong? Now you just feel like you are not just feeling the whole thing. Now, when I do sections with my clients, I'm usually about the clarity part, because yeah, I might talk to you over the section, go over all of the pillars on when it comes to your brand development, but then you might not actually be clear about your brand. Now, I'm usually concerned about the clarity aspect. I make sure I take my time to go over all of these pillars when it comes to developing a brand. Okay, all of these things are interwoven, and I usually ensure that my client gets all of the to the tiniest detail. I make sure that it gets all of this. I make sure that they understand and they are very very clear about their brand. And thank God they usually say all of these things in when they drop testimonials, and I'm usually very happy. Now, you need to be clear about your strategy. Gain clarity. Clarity is very important. Then also the second thing is number two. Let's say, I think it also boils down to the resources. I think to the resources, inadequate resources, or let's say limited resources. Now, a whole lot of people want to they want to be everywhere. For example, let's take me for example. I'm a brand designer, I'm a brand strategist. Now, my major channels are Instagram and LinkedIn. Okay, I make sure that I'm really focused on these platforms. Now let's say for example another person is also in my area, is also in my field, and the person is trying to market, or the person is stretching, or let's say, okay, yeah, let's say this person is stretching himself out. He's on Instagram, he's on Twitter, he's on LinkedIn, he's on WhatsApp, he's on every social platform that you can think of, simply because some creators are telling the person that, oh, you have to be on all of these platforms. Now, as a person, as a solopreneur that you are, there is no how. You are not a robot. You can't be on all of these platforms at once. Even if you are on all of these platforms, you cannot effectively build your presence on all of these platforms. So it is essential that with the little resources that you have, it is essential to manage it. Okay, so one of the reasons why people experience inconsistency is because they are trying to spread out their resources, and most of them have inadequate resources. That's just the thing. Businesses like Nike, businesses like Adidas, they have the budget to be on 7 social medias and be active on all of these social media. You know, their resources is in excess. So as a solopreneur, you should understand that you are on a tight budget. So make sure that what you are spending your resources on is not something that is, make sure you are managing it. How would I say? People say micromanage. So make sure you are trying to like manage all of these things so that you can achieve, can achieve and the best results for your brand.
Thank you very much.